Welcome back to an exciting journey through the Bible. Today we are delving into one of the most pivotal moments in biblical history, the call of Abraham. Abraham's story is one of faith, obedience, and God's incredible promises. From leaving his homeland to receiving the covenant that shaped the future of God's people, Abraham's journey teaches us what it means to trust in God's plan. Are you ready to test your knowledge on this foundational story? Let's dive into 25 thought-provoking questions on the call of Abraham. Before we begin, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you don't miss out. Share your scores and thoughts in the comments. Let's get started. Question 1. Where was Abraham living when God first called him? A. Egypt. B. Ur of the Chaldeans. C. Canaan. D. Babylon. The answer is B. Ur of the Chaldeans. Terah took his son Abram, his grandson Lot son of Haran, and his daughter-in-law Sarai, the wife of his son Abram, and together they set out from Ur of the Chaldeans to go to Canaan. But when they came to Haran, they settled there. Genesis 11:31. Question 2. What did God promise to make Abraham? A. A mighty warrior. B. A king over many nations. C. A great nation. D. The ruler of Egypt. The answer is C. A great nation. I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing. Genesis 12:2. Question 3. Who accompanied Abraham on his journey when he left Haran? A. His brother Nahor. B. His cousin Eliezer. C. His nephew Lot. D. His son Ishmael. The answer is C. His nephew Lot. So Abram went, as the Lord had told him, and Lot went with him. Abram was 75 years old when he set out from Haran. He took his wife Sarai, his nephew Lot, all the possessions they had accumulated, and the people they had acquired in Haran, and they set out for the land of Canaan, and they arrived there. Genesis 12:4-5. Question 4. What land did God promise to Abraham and his descendants? A. Babylon. B. Moab. C. Egypt. D. Canaan. The answer is D. Canaan. The Lord appeared to Abram and said, "To your offspring, I will give this land." So he built an altar there to the Lord, who had appeared to him. Genesis 12:7. Question 5. What was the sign of God's covenant with Abraham? A. A rainbow. B. The Passover. C. Circumcision. D. The 10 Commandments. The answer is C. Circumcision. This is my covenant with you and your descendants after you, the covenant you are to keep. Every male among you shall be circumcised. You are to undergo circumcision, and it will be the sign of the covenant between me and you. Genesis 17:10-11. Question 6. What did Abraham do when he arrived in Canaan? A. Built an altar and worshipped God. B. Set up a kingdom for himself. C. Fought against the Canaanites. D. Returned to Haran. The answer is A. Built an altar and worshipped God. The Lord appeared to Abram and said, "To your offspring I will give this land." So he built an altar there to the Lord, who had appeared to him. Genesis 12:7-8. Question 7. Why did Abraham and Sarah go to Egypt? A. To escape war. B. To find Joseph. C. To flee from persecution. D. Because of a famine. The answer is D. Because of a famine. Now there was a famine in the land, and Abram went down to Egypt to live there for a while because the famine was severe. Genesis 12:10. Question 8. How did Abraham introduce Sarah to Pharaoh? A. As his wife. B. As his sister. C. As his servant. D. As his mother. The answer is B. As his sister. When the Egyptians see you, they will say, "This is his wife." Then they will kill me, but will let you live. Say you are my sister, so that I will be treated well for your sake and my life will be spared because of you. Genesis 12:11-13. Question 9. Why did God afflict Pharaoh and his household with plagues? A. Because Pharaoh refused to release the Israelites. B. Because Pharaoh tried to build a tower to heaven. C. Because he took Sarah into his household. D. Because Pharaoh worshipped false gods. The answer is C. Because he took Sarah into his household. But the Lord inflicted serious diseases on Pharaoh and his household because of Abram's wife Sarai. Genesis 12:17. Question 10. What did Abraham and Lot's herdsmen argue over? A. Who was the rightful heir to Abraham? B. The ownership of wells. C. The division of land and pasture. D. Who should build the next altar? The answer is C. The division of land and pasture. Now Lot, who was moving about with Abram, also had flocks and herds and tents. But the land could not support them while they stayed together, for their possessions were so great that they were not able to stay together. Genesis 13:5-7. Question 11. How did Abraham and Lot resolve their dispute? A. Abraham let Lot choose first where to settle. B. They divided the land equally. C. They asked God to decide. D. Abraham sent Lot away from Canaan. The answer is D. Abraham sent Lot away from Canaan. So Abram said to Lot, "Let's not have any quarreling between you and me, or between your herders and mine, for we are close relatives. Is not the whole land before you? Let's part company. If you go to the left, I'll go to the right. If you go to the right, I'll go to the left." Genesis 13:8-9. Question 12. Where did Lot choose to settle? A. The mountains of Canaan. B. Near the Jordan Valley and Sodom. C. In Egypt. D. In Ur of the Chaldeans. The answer is B. Near the Jordan Valley and Sodom. Lot looked around and saw that the whole plain of the Jordan toward Zoar was well watered, like the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt. Genesis 13:10-12. Question 13. What did God tell Abraham after Lot left? A. He would give him all the land he could see. B. He would destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. C. He would make Lot's descendants a great nation. D. He should return to Haran. The answer is A. He would give him all the land he could see. The Lord said to Abram after Lot had parted from him, Look around from where you are, to the north and south, to the east and west. All the land that you see I will give to you and your offspring forever. Genesis 13:14-17. Question 14. What did Abraham do when he heard Lot had been taken captive? A. He prayed and waited. B. He gathered 318 trained men and rescued him. C. He sought help from Pharaoh. D. He paid a ransom to rescue Lot. The answer is B. He gathered 318 trained men and rescued him. When Abram heard that his relative had been taken captive, he called out the 318 trained men born in his household and went in pursuit as far as Dan. Genesis 14:14-16. Question 15. Who was the mysterious priest that blessed Abraham? A. Aaron. B. Levi. C. Jethro. D. Melchizedek. The answer is D. Melchizedek. Then Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought out bread and wine. He was priest of God Most High, and he blessed Abram, saying, Blessed be Abram by God, Most High, Creator of heaven and earth. Genesis 14:18-20. Question 16. What did Melchizedek offer to Abraham? A. Gold and silver. B. A crown. C. Bread and wine. D. A scroll of prophecy. The answer is C. Bread and wine. Then Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought out bread and wine. He was priest of God Most High. Genesis 14:18. Question 17. What did God tell Abraham about his descendants? A. They would be strangers in a foreign land for 400 years. B. They would rule over all the nations. C. They would remain in Canaan forever. D. They would never face hardships. The answer is A. They would be strangers in a foreign land for 400 years. Then the Lord said to him, Know for certain that for 400 years your descendants will be strangers in a country not their own, and that they will be enslaved and mistreated there. Genesis 15:13. Question 18. Who was Abraham's first son? A. Isaac. B. Ishmael. C. Esau. D. Joseph. The answer is B. Ishmael. So Hagar bore Abram a son, and Abram gave the name Ishmael to the son she had born. Genesis 16:15. Question 19. What was the reason Sarah gave Hagar to Abraham as a wife? A. She wanted Hagar to leave their household. B. She doubted God's promise and wanted a child through Hagar. C. Hagar was Abraham's first love. D. An angel instructed her to do so. The answer is B. She doubted God's promise and wanted a child through Hagar. So she said to Abram, The Lord has kept me from having children. Go, sleep with my slave. Perhaps I can build a family through her. Abram agreed to what Sarai said. Genesis 16:2. Question 20. What new name did God give Abram? A. Moses. B. Elijah. C. Israel. D. Abraham. The answer is D. Abraham. No longer will you be called Abram. Your name will be Abraham, for I have made you a father of many nations. Genesis 17:5. Question 21. What new name was given to Sarai? A. Rebekah, B. Rachel, C. Sarah, D. Esther. The answer is C. Sarah. God also said to Abraham, "As for Sarai, your wife, you are no longer to call her Sarai. Her name will be Sarah." Genesis 17:15. Question 22. How old was Abraham when Isaac was born? A. 75, B. 90, C. 100, D. 120. The answer is C. 100. Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born to him. Genesis 21:5. Question 23. What did Abraham do when God told him Sarah would bear a son? A. He laughed in disbelief. B. He questioned God. C. He immediately built an altar. D. He refused to believe it. The answer is A. He laughed in disbelief. Abraham fell face down. He laughed and said to himself, "Will a son be born to a man 100 years old? Will Sarah bear a child at the age of 90? Genesis 17:17. Question 24. What did the three visitors tell Abraham at Mamre? A. That God would destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. B. That Sarah would have a son. C. That Abraham would become king. D. That Lot should move away. The answer is B. That Sarah would have a son. Then one of them said, "I will surely return to you about this time next year, and Sarah, your wife, will have a son." Now Sarah was listening at the entrance to the tent, which was behind him. Genesis 18:10. Question 25. Why did God choose Abraham? A. Because of his great wealth. B. Because of his military strength. C. Because he would teach his descendants to follow God. D. Because he was the only righteous man on earth. The answer is C. Because he would teach his descendants to follow God. For I have chosen him, so that he will direct his children and his household after him, to keep the way of the Lord, by doing what is right and just, so that the Lord will bring about for Abraham what he has promised him. Genesis 18:19. That concludes our deep dive into the call of Abraham. How well did you do? More importantly, what did you learn? Abraham's journey reminds us that faith sometimes means stepping into the unknown, trusting that God's promises will never fail. Let's continue to walk by faith, just as Abraham did. Until next time, keep seeking wisdom, stay rooted in God's word, and trust in his promises. See you soon.